quite medieval, and of course, medieval means also that's the norm across history, right? This isn't me. By the way, this is two scholars at Wellesley and Georgetown, because we've been in foreign policy looking for several years for isms, descriptions of Trump, because it seems quite chaotic. So isolationism, realism, all these things, and none of them fits. But one ism does fit. It's a new one. It's neo-royalism. And it's if you think of Trump's view, or if you think of foreign policy under Trump, not as primarily something between states, that's international, means between states, but as something between a clique or a house or a dynasty like the
Yeah.
Tudor Habsburgs, then everything starts making sense.
Here's the money sentence, Paul Sweeney.
Yep.
The foreign policy of the Trump clique, the argument goes, would easily have been recognized by, say, Tudors, Habsburgs, Bourbons, Romanovs, or Medici in Italy.
Exactly. Andreas, how, given maybe this concept of neo-royalism, how do our counterparties, our other countries, did they recognize this? Are they now dealing with the U.S. government and under that type of framework, you think?
Some very much, others not. The wrong ones are the ones who are like, oh, yeah, that works for us. So if you think of a neo-royalist, or if you think of if this were Habsburgs and Tudors and Medicis, the Trumps, then you look around and it's about status and money. So, and you see there are other royal courts of your stature. And for Trump, that would be the Kremlin and Zhongnanhai and Beijing. And we're at eye level. However, everyone else is a tributary state, and we extract tributes from them. We expect it. And that's essentially everything in Borgen in Copenhagen, the Danes. So the European Union, everything that is the old rules-based thing, which assumes states are equal, and old alliances, that really doesn't have any
Right.
currency at all. If you are a Habsburg, you deal with the Romanovs, okay? You don't deal with the tributary states in Eastern Central Europe, and Trump,
Right.
the Trump plan views it that way, and so does Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping.
A lot of our listeners and viewers, Andreas Kluth, would agree with what you're saying now. What do you see after, and what do your academics see after? If we get beyond what you call neo-royalism, what follows for America?
Well, the scholars don't look after, and we don't know. We're all trying to figure out what might come after, but there's 3 years to go, and everything in the world has changed. America has changed. I don't think we can go back, certainly not back to the rules-based order, which I've made fun of as a phrase many, many times. That is gone. So what comes out, I mean, look, historically, if you don't look at the last 80 years, but at the last 800 or 1,000 years, neo-royalism is just royalism. It's the new normal. So we might just stay in that.
Andreas, just for our listeners and our viewers, I really want to define neo-royalism. And it suggests that the proper unit of analysis is the leader and his clique rather than states, and that Trump's foreign policy is driven by a desire to generate wealth and status for his clique. That is what many people believe neo-royalism is. My question is, don't we have a constitution? Don't we have a Congress to check this type of behavior?
Yes, and now you tell me how eager and effective and courageous has that Congress been in checking this behavior? I mean, that's the point, is to the actors that matter, the things you just said matter. By the way, it goes further, the model. It's about legitimacy. In the neo-royalist model, there's a lot, the Chinese had the mandate of heaven. European kings had divine right. Trump, Hegseth, these people talk about Trump as divinely chosen, as
Right.
unique, exceptional. So it's not about the subjects, it's about the exceptional nature of the sovereign leader and the clique around him. And then a lot of things become clear in terms of once you grasp the attitude.
Andreas Kluth with us. Just in the final couple minutes here, Andreas, you wrote a brilliant essay the other day, which is so germane for our New York City audience today. On Fifth Avenue today, folks, there will be a ceremony and an investment at St. Patrick's Cathedral with a new a cardinal coming in, I should say, archbishop coming in. You wrote an essay recently, The Pope and the President Have Competing Visions. What are the competing visions, and particularly what is the vision of this new reinvigorated Catholic Church?
Well, so the basis for that idea was the Pope is an American leader, the first American Pope. So you have these two American leaders. In fact, the Vice President, J.D. Vance, likes to visit the other American leader. Their contrasting vision. The Pope is very clear, while being discreet, that he stands against everything that Trump represents. By the way, the literal meaning of Catholic is universal. He stands for universal values, including the universal basis of international law, things like that. Trump, as we just discussed, the neo-royalist Trump, is above that. He's even said he has no use for international law. The only law I need is in my own mind, he told the New York Times. So in terms of universalism and values-based policy, foreign and domestic, versus completely power-based and law is irrelevant because it's about me, the leader. These are two very American visions. They've both been American for a long time, and they've always conflicted, and now we have them, one in the Vatican and one in the White House.